Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about the CSGO market, and it's not a very fun topic. Today we're going to be talking about the decrease in a lot of things that a lot of people are holding. We got the clutch case, CS20, and a couple other cases we're going to hit on. It's just not a lot of fun going on here in the market. We're seeing a lot of decreases all across the board, and I would even call it a crash for some cases, like the clutch case losing a lot of its value, not in a very good situation right now, but we're going to talk about it, everything, and my future insight to it. So let's hop on into it. Right now, all across the board, there's a lot of factors that matter in which a case goes up and down or price. One of the more significant ones is how many cases are unboxed, and that's mainly what we're going to be focusing on today, is looking at the cases and seeing how they are comparing to previous months. We're going to be looking at July versus June and my thoughts for August. First up here, we have the clutch case. 3.34 million in June and 3.12 in July. So that's a pretty big decrease, not only because it's the biggest case unboxed. I mean, this one is the most common case to unbox. It's got pretty decent price point for its rare special item, and it's usually pretty cheap. I mean, honestly, we haven't seen this go for more than 30 cents realistically, unless you're looking at the super high price gaps here. But a decrease of 220,000 can easily be seen on the market. I mean, right now we have 480,000 listed on the market, and I feel like those numbers are going to be significantly worse for August, and that's why we're seeing this downfall right now. I don't see a lot of people opening up cases right now. We're kind of in a downturn for the game. I think we're going to receive maybe a little bit content now, but obviously in that fourth quarter it's going to pick up, and I think Valve is taking notice here because they're seeing a lot less cases being unboxed. I have to assume if we saw that decrease from June to July for the clutch case, that's 220,000 cases. It's about $500,000 just in keys for the clutch case. So that's a pretty decent amount of money to see it for a decrease. And I believe that is one of the bigger factors implicating for the clutch case. We're seeing the prices go down pretty significantly right now. We're going through those buy orders, and there's a lot of them set in that 15, 13, 14 cent range. Right now we're starting to hit out all those 16 cent ones. We've got barely any left. So honestly, this is a great buy for 16 cents in my opinion. I'm picking up some more. I think this is one of the few cases right now that you can't really lose. Looking at all the buy orders out there, I can't see this case ever going down to 10 cents or below as long as we have a active player base. My prediction here for the clutch case moving forward is we're most likely going to level around 15 cents. I feel like that's a pretty stable point for the case. 15 cents is really good considering it stabled out around 12 cents just about a year ago, and that's a really good increase. That's a 25% increase in 1 year, and especially for that to be pretty much the lowest points we've seen, I think that's really good for the case moving forward. It's just really struggling right now because there's so many of them dropping, so we're seeing a lot of excess cases hitting the market that people don't want and people aren't unboxing. Next up here then, we have the CS20 case. Now the CS20 case is a really interesting one. Right now you can pick it up for about 15 cents with a buy order. The problem with the CS20 case is that it was pushed up to a price point that was unsustainable. The things in the case really aren't too special at this point. There hasn't been any real high demand for the CS20 case, and I've made a video on it in the past. I would definitely recommend you check that out. But I really can't see it going below around 12-ish cents. 12, 11 cents is the bottom line for this case. I think it's probably going to settle roughly around there. The problem is no one wants to open this case, and that's something I go over in that video, is the decrease in the amount of people wanting to open this case. We saw a 17% decrease in the amount of cases being opened from June to July in this case, and it's really not hard to see all the cases on the market hitting the market because no one really wants this case. Next up here then, we have the fracture case. Now the fracture case is one that's really just been going down in price because it's in the prime pool. Nothing other than that. We've just seen a constant decrease for this case. And honestly, I think it'll probably hit around that 10 to 8 cent mark eventually, just because this case is going to be in the active drop pool for the foreseeable future. And there is a lot of buy orders to pick these up at that 13, 11, 12 cent mark. There's about 400,000-ish buy orders there. I just don't think that's going to be enough. We've got 400,000 of these on the market right now, and the amount of people opening them is decreasing. We went from roughly around 2.4 million unboxed to just under 2 million unboxed, which is still a great number for something in the active drop pool. I just don't see this going back up in price. Now, I know so far it's been pretty sad, been pretty depressing seeing everything go down in price, and I completely understand that. I want to take a quick pit stop because we actually do have some cases that are going really well. One of them is the Spectrum cases. Spectrum 1 and 2, both of them have been really thriving lately. In June, Spectrum made up for 9.7% of all cases unboxed, which is just roughly around 10%, which is already a pretty good number. But in July, they made up 12.4%, almost a 3% increase in the amount of total cases unboxed, which is absolutely insane. It's awesome to see at least one of the cases thriving, and this is the case for a lot of these cases out there. There's a lot of them that are still thriving, still doing pretty well after what we saw after Operation Broken Fang ended. Another one of the cases I would like to talk about is the Operation Broken Fang case. Now, we know the Operation Broken Fang case has been decreasing in price. It's pretty obvious. I mean, you can see it all across the board. Just the decline in the amount of the price and the amount of them on the market has just been going up and up as people don't really want to open this case. There's the snake bite, which has a lot of those more enticing skins at this point. But the Operation Broken Fang case has really been struggling. I mean, in June, we saw 2 million of these unboxed. Slightly rounding, but really not too much. We're seeing about 2 million of these unboxed. But when we come over to July, we're only seeing 1.5 million of these unboxed. That's really bad considering that's only 75% of the previous month. Now, the Broken Fang is a little bit different because there's no new ones being added to the market, which is absolutely awesome, but 75% decrease each month is not going to be doing the case any favors moving forward. Right now, with the way things are, I just believe there is too many Broken Fang cases and the amount of them being opened. If we're going to see 75% only returning to open them the next month, I just don't see enough of this case being opened if we're going to see this trend continue. It's going to be very unfortunate for the Broken Fang case. Even though there is a set number of them, it seems like CSGO investing really struggles with these cases that are completely discontinued. We've got all the esports cases, all the brand new operation cases, those being Shattered Web and Broken Fang. They really have struggled to find a foothold. They just kind of find a price and they stagnate at it. Personally, I would just stay away from the Broken Fang case at this point because it's really unfortunate to see what's happening there. Overall, though, I think it's pretty interesting to see what's going on with the cases. Now, it is a little unfortunate to talk about this, but this is also a perfect time to buy. And if you guys are looking to buy, I've got a couple links in the description that help me out. It's to Skimport and some other websites there. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.